We're joined now from Washington by Rick Tyler, president of Renewing American Leadership and spokesman for former House Speaker Newt Gingrich. So, Rick, who is trying to get the references to God out of there?
Well, I don't know if they're trying to get the references to God out of there, but, you know, David Barton with Wall Builders about 5 years ago was asked by the leadership then to design a Capitol Visitor Center that was worthy of America, that told about our American heritage. And that went on for years, and then recently, a lot of the planning that went into that began just started to disappear. There are not only no proper, I think, displays honoring God, they missed a lot of opportunities, and frankly, some of the interpretations and some of the history is just flat out wrong. So I credit Randy Forbes for leading the Prayer Caucus and Senator DeMint on the Senate side for standing up for people of faith and getting God represented in our history. God is central to American founding, and it's central to our future. And unfortunately, 3 million people at the Capitol will go and see a wonderful museum, but they'll miss an opportunity. It's a little bit like going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and not finding Elvis.
Rick, tell us about the fight to restore the references to America's religious heritage.
Well, you have one thing that did get restored was on both sides there's a wonderful replica of the Senate chamber, and above that it says E Pluribus Unum, and above the House chamber, and in a real House chamber it says In God We Trust. Well, that was not included in the original plans. They were going to leave and omit In God We Trust. They did omit it from all the photographs. If you look at the photographs at the display, you won't find In God We Trust because it's been cropped out or the picture's too far away to see it, and there was no reference to it at all. But because of Randy Forbes and the Prayer Caucus, they were able to restore it, and it does prominently say In God We Trust. But they had misidentified, E Pluribus Unum was passed in 1874 as it was part of the national seal, and fairly enough, it probably was a de facto model right up until 1956 under the Eisenhower administration. It was clearly made our national model In God We Trust, and it's not up to the architect and a few people to decide all of a sudden that our national model is not In God We Trust, and that it's E Pluribus Unum. And to Randy's credit, they fixed that. But there's a lot of missed opportunities. The Lincoln table was mentioned in the setup piece. It's certainly there. I saw the Lincoln table. It said it was used in the inaugural, but it doesn't say what it was used for. It was used to hold the Bible. And so why not just put a Bible on, because every president is sworn in by the Bible. And the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't find the Pledge of Allegiance. It should be in a prominent place. It is the only thing that is said in both chambers at the beginning of every session. And by the way, a prayer is said at the beginning of every session. Those things aren't mentioned. Also, the first African American to speak in the Capitol was a minister of the gospel, and they missed that opportunity. Actually, as a Republican, they missed a lot of those opportunities. Well, but we don't need to get into that. Look, it was a lot of missed opportunities where 5,000 people a day could understand our godly heritage in America. It's out of our schools now, and you'd think we'd be able to teach our kids what our godly heritage, why it's so important.
And so I guess congrats to Randy Forbes and others. Rick Tyler, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.